Hello, and welcome to the first product update in the new Finsweet studio. Wow, it's pretty nice in here. And this is something we're going to do every single month here at Finsweet to give you a bit more transparency about what we are doing with product. We're making big updates, we're working really hard for you, and we just want to tell you every month what we're working on, what we worked on last month, and what we're going to work on the next month. So that's what these streams are going to be all about, once per month, transparent updates. And before we get into that, first, a shout out to all the studio people. There's about 50 people in front of the cameras right now that put together this whole studio. So big thanks to them. And let's go and say hello to the audience here. Okay, Pixelita, what's up? How you doing? Michael Collins, Rhode Island. Hello, Ferdy Boxman from the Netherlands. We have Mike Douglas from Arizona. Scott Humphrey, UK. Sylvan, Netherlands. We have Pixel Geek from San Diego. We have Alaba from Nigeria. Anna in London at the minute. Very cool. Darshil from India. Gustavo, Argentina. Chris. Hello. Welcome. We're going to make these streams short. This is not going to be a full hour. These streams could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. And it's just all about what we have actually built. So now let's get into this presentation and let's go through what we have for you. So monthly product update, January, we'll be talking about each of our 5 core products, and we will start each month with Wized. So Wized, what we shipped last month, Wized team is working hard. We have our developers making a bunch of quality life improvements. If you are not using Wized and you are interested, you have to check it out. We released our new prices at wiz.com/pricing. We have increased our backup time from 30 days to 90 days. We have a new preset system. This one is really cool. If you are new to Wiz and you're not really sure how to get started, this preset system is for you. That you can go and create a new action, and there's a whole bunch of recommended first steps for those actions and requests. We have better search for apps, actions, and requests. We see a lot of people with huge Wiz projects. So instead of scrolling through the list to find everything you need, we have a search, and you can search for exactly what you're looking for. We've also improved the loading of project attributes. We are always making improvements to the configurator there. We now have display warnings in the debugger when an element has conflicting duplicated actions. We also ensure that set text action respects the N line breaks in Embed 2.0. We also display now all CMS pages in the pages dropdown instead of just one per collection. This list right here, quality of life improvements. Thank you for making those suggestions, and we made them for you. And also UI improvements and fixes, stability improvements, bug fixes. We're going to have this slide every single month for Wiz. Every time we hear something, a quick win for Wiz, we're going to implement it really quickly. Now, what we are going to work on this month in Wiz, February. Now, just to be clear, this is not what we are going to launch in February. Maybe we launch all of these, maybe they overflow into March, but this is what we are working on as a team. We are going to have a read-only preview mode, just like Webflow, right? This is really valuable in Webflow, where you can just generate a read-only link, send it to anybody, and they can't actually edit the project. They can only read it. So we're going to have that same functionality in Wiz for you. We're going to allow for copy and paste of settings across projects. Really valuable, right? If you're building in a project, or maybe someone released a clonable and you want to copy that functionality, well, we can go and do that now with the copy and paste. Or I should say, we're working on that so that you will be able to do that. We can add draft states to requests in the data store. That is something that a lot of users have asked for, really valuable. And of course, custom names for backups, another big suggestion, right? We have this ability to back up, but if you can't really custom name it, it may be hard to find that backup. So these are coming either in February, maybe March. Again, this is not a launch schedule. This is simply what we are working on. Oh man, so many pages for Wized. We are the Wized team is certainly our largest product team, and it's really impressive to see how much they are launching and working on. So we got bug fixes coming. We have UI UX improvements in the configurator. If you're a part of that embed to Slack channel, you may know about some of these. We take a lot of comments from that Slack channel and we go and implement them. So if you want to be a part of that, just write to our support. We'll get you in that Slack channel. And a big one, support for Supabase migrations from Embed 1.0 to 2.0. Supabase, Xano, really top leaders in the database space when you're building web applications for Webflow. So we want to get that Supabase ready for migration. All right. Next product, attributes. Let's do it. Okay, attributes is part of a really big redevelopment here. We are making big updates to attributes. And because of that, what we actually shipped last month is quite small. We are working on a multi-month project here. So we did ship table of contents, a bug fix for missing links. A couple of projects, depending on the configuration, had some missing links. That is now pushed, and we are good to go with table of contents. Now, what we're working on this month, and what we were also working on last month, and what we're probably also going to be working on next month and next month, is the Attributes V2 launch. This is a big one. This includes the new documentation. This includes the new clonable demos. We have Vincent and we have Luis working really hard to get that documentation to a better place, get the new clonables and demos and all the content that you need to properly build attributes. We are working on that. And new solutions, list and tooltips. We'll talk about list very briefly here. This is a big one. So CMS filter, CMS list, and CMS sort. These are some of our biggest solutions in attributes right now. And instead of having all three of those solutions on one collection list, we are now calling the group functionality of all three of those FS list. So with one solution, with one attribute, you can apply all three of these. And we're working on some really nice added features to filter and also to load. We're working on a bunch of cool things there. So this is a big project. We may even see the same exact list here next month. It's massive. You can send Vincent a DM. Go ahead, send Luis a DM on X, on Finsweet support channel, whatever. And if you want some inside information, maybe we'll give that to you. So that is attributes. Great. Next, Webflow Apps. This one is really important to us. And with Webflow Apps, what we're talking about is Finsweet components. That's what we are focusing mostly all of our Webflow app focus on. That's just what we're going to run with here, Finsweet components. We want to be the go-to place for components inside Webflow. So instead of using the native slider or the native tabs or the native lightbox, Finsweet components can come in for that custom configurable component that really works natively in Webflow, right? Not messing around with custom code, not looking at APIs and JavaScript documentation to implement something. We want it to feel native here. So what we're working on this month, we don't have anything delivered. We're building the solution list, right? We don't want to just launch with one component. It's called Finsweet components. So we're building up a couple components here. We're in QA for slider, we're in QA for cookie consent, and we are in QA for tabs. We are planning to launch with those three plus table, right? We released table that is working really well. We get great feedback about that. And those four will likely be the initial launch of Finsweet components. We're also building the payment system and integration with Finsweet account. So that is in building, testing, iterating. We have the team testing. We're implementing this, and we just want to make sure it's as good as possible, as clean and as perfect as we can make it before we release it. So this is a big one. We're excited about this, and I know that next month we will have more updates on this. There's going to be definitely more information that we can give to you. Oh, wow. Okay. Ferdy Boxman donating €1 here. Thank you. That's nice. Okay. Let's keep going here. Client first. What do we have for client first? What did we ship last month? So last month, we have the new version 2.1 update. This is a nice one that integrates variables into client first. So with this integration of variables, specifically color variables, we have released the new client first clonable. Shout out to the Relume team. We worked with them for weeks and weeks and weeks with this version 2.1 update. It was an intense one. As we know, the introduction of variables with Webflow is super powerful. It's also a bit limited at this point. So we had a lot of back and forth of how do we implement variables, but not over implement it, right? Wait for some more updates from Webflow so we can continue to scale our variables. And so far, we've heard great updates. Thank you for being client first users. And thank you for all the feedback and all the voting we had around variables. We also have a new client-first docs and marketing site. Go check it out. It's redesigned. The docs look so much more clean. And this is going to be the new style that we are running with for all of our products. You'll see the attributes V2 docs look somewhat similar to that. You'll see Finsweet components site look similar to this. Pretty much any product that we're going to release is going to follow this new branding. So we released the docs and re-released the docs and marketing site for client first. Now, what we're working on this month, the client first certification platform. We have had so many people ask us, when can we be client first certified? I love client first. I want to be able to put a badge on my website. How can I do this? Harshit and Victoria have been working really hard to make this happen. So Harshit is leading the cause for our certification platform, and it is a full certification platform. It combines questions with providing real work with actual human checks of your project. So we are really certifying you, right? We're not just going to give you a check and say, hey, put this badge on your site. We want to make sure that we have a real good list of experts in client first. And of course, these people will be listed on the documentation page. All right, that's it for client first. Let's get into CMS Bridge. Now, this one has been a roller coaster of emotions for us, for the community, for everybody. And we are now, I'm really happy to say, very close to re-releasing this. We released it as Noble. There were a bunch of issues. We had it in beta. We never took it out of beta, and we decided to redevelop it. So we have it redeveloped. We are now preparing for a submission to the marketplace, and that is what we're working on this month. So let me go over a couple of new features, a couple of interesting things that we're working on to go with that submission. This is let me back up. If you don't know Noble or CMS Bridge, this is the ability to sync your Airtable database with Webflow CMS. And you'll have full control over the sync state of every Airtable record. There is a new mirror sync feature that targets the last modified state in Airtable. So we're making it a lot easier. If you even like Noble a little bit, this is a huge, huge upgrade, both in performance, in the way it's developed, in speed, in everything. It's a completely different product. Syncs are now published in the back end, so you can close the app without worries. In our previous version, you had to keep it open because there was a process working in the browser. Now we are syncing in the back end, so you can Okay, we're back in the studio. We're back in the studio. Yeah, a little bit of tough technical difficulties. We just started renting this place. I think we may be a little bit late on the light payment. So yeah, we're back though. Don't worry, we're back. Okay, back to business. So final item here is that we are submitting to the Airtable marketplace. Now, we don't know when this is going to actually be launched in the Airtable marketplace, but we are submitting. Airtable could accept it in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks. We don't know. But this month, we will be submitting it to Airtable. Very cool. Now, that's the end of this stream. Join us in 2 days, Thursday, February 8th. This is 2 days from now at 12 Eastern for a private Finsweet Plus Q&A session with the product team. We're going to have Alex Iglesias. We're going to have Vincent. We're going to have Eve, all the product leaders, right? Everybody that works on product at Finsweet is going to be at this Finsweet Plus meeting, and it's going to be an intimate conversation, Q&A. Ask us the questions. We will answer about this stream content. So if you were a little bit unsure about something I said, or you want some further clarification, or you just have a random question about our product, we are going to answer that for our Finsweet Plus users. So if you are a Finsweet Plus user, see you on Thursday. If you're not, go check out Finsweet Plus. It is it's a great way to be more involved with Finsweet, right? If you're using our products, we have a lot of content. We have cool Q&A sessions like this, and I'm excited for that. That's going to be really cool to be able to talk to the community face to face. Thank you. This was the first stream here. That was about 15 minutes or so. And I think each month we are going to have about this amount of time, 10, 15, 20 minutes of stream, quick update. And the whole goal here is to be transparent, right? Did we work on something? Did we ship something? Are we working on something? Is something on hold? And that's really what we are doing here. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you from the studio. And we will see you either in 2 days or next month.